How generous a coach are you? Will you let the big man get that really big game? Will you let that running back who might have had one season where he didn't have a breakaway, but the rest of his career he had breakaways, will you let him have that breakaway? Will you let him have that old TDTZ? Will you let him have that much, or will you limit it? Conversation comes up every day. Just saw another conversation about running gains, and it occurred to me that, as we look for our next skills competition, I think a little kicking, a little bootery would be nice. The Andersons, Gary and Morton, and Mr. Tucker. Of course, Mr. Tucker, that 66-yard field goal that broke the game, well, and maxed it out. You see he's got those 37s. He's got 4 37s there, so he's going to make that. But what about a kicker who, say a Justin Tucker, who he doesn't hit a 66-yarder again, but he could do it? How much could-do-ism, or another way of saying the what-if-ism, how much will you allow? Will you allow someone who didn't break the record to break a record? And I just want to go back to, it got me thinking about some of the old boards. And we know that with the 2006 season, the kicking results were expanded from 11 to 36 to 37 to 42. They added 37 to 42, and it's at 37 on the master game where you get that Justin Tucker maxing out the game, because with the advent of the master game, which is almost 40 years old, it's coming up on the anniversary, they capped a field goal in that 40 to 49-yard range. So 66 has been the outer limit of APBA football field goal range for 40 years until Mr. Tucker busted it. He hit it. Okay, but would you give someone who doesn't have that actual feat the opportunity? Just like the TDTZ, should we give a kicker, maybe not the 37, but a kicker the opportunity who's got that range? Shouldn't we maybe allow that person the opportunity? Maybe there should be a randomized field goal rule for those high range kickers. Okay, and how much should it be? 70 yards? I know there are several videos out there talking about the science of what is possible for a field goal. But it's interesting, it got me thinking to look at some of the old boards. And if you look at the old kicking boards, well, the original master game gave you the possibility of a 66. Now I've got to go see all those guys who have ones. I know a bunch of kickers with ones. So would you allow them to have the record 66-yarder? I think absolutely. And they were a little more generous back then, the 3 and the 7 in the second and fourth quarters. And then you see 44 max, a bunch of block kicks, bunch of fumbles. Then you see in the master, the basic game, this is the 2008 version of the basic charts and the 2008 version of the master charts. You see, well, the master chart, for instance, all the way up here, max was 46, a 63-yarder. Tom Dempsey would be happy, but the rest of it, forget it. 43, 45, so 60, 62. And then again, down here, that's at 37. But they really tighten the master game results. And a basic game, forget it. You get the 45, which is the average, of course, between the 46 and the 44. Plunky right in the middle, 45. Okay. Now, it's funny, again, you go back and look at the old inside run play, the plunge play, and you look, just looking for these other hidden touchdowns throughout the board here. Are there any? Are there any in the, spot them, Sherlock Holmes? There's one. There's a TDTZ between the 30 and the 10 and the C index. So you give your guy the shot. Again, it's the standard line. And what about for the A? Anyone in the A? Oh, there's another one in the C index again. So you're giving the C index guys some opportunity to get that big play. And I love it. I love it. I think you need that. I just wonder how much of that should be given to the kickers. Going back up here to the master boards, now you see the TDTE for the A index guy, D-line, and that is the inside run. Okay, just spot them. See if we can spot some freebie touchdowns, or almost. At least the option is in there. Maybe you roll for the penalty and say, it's a 50-50, that penalty doesn't actually happen. How generous there's another TDTE, and they're giving it only to the A. Oh, no, wait, that's a The C index, D-line first and third quarter. So you got the opportunity there to steal a touchdown. There's another one. And the B index, all right. And what about, okay. You know, I really find interesting as you go back to the original plunge play rule, the 72 to 81 season boards, and if you look, I never really realized this, but the 15 and 16 in the A index against the light line, you get the touchdown down there. I don't know why they spelled it out it's just nice. It looks nice. So that's interesting. It's another little anomaly for our APBA Football handbook. Not really an anomaly, just a feature. In any case, I'm just curious. In other words, should Gary or Morton Anderson have the ability? Shouldn't they have some ones in there? We're going to go back. We've compared a lot of the kickers, and we're really going to go back and do that. We're going to pull a few more out. Now, I know Fred Steinfurt is not going to have it. Maybe Nick Lauer, I don't know. Jason Elam, Sebastian Janikowski, Vinatieri, possibly. Gostkowski, don't know. But how generous are you? Or does Justin Tucker, does he and he alone get the opportunity to meet that 66-yard field goal? What do you think?